Tampere, we have a problem. Actually, we have a lot of them. We've spoken about many of them on this channel already, so today I'm going to talk about something different and much closer to home. On the current Colossal Order schedule, a beta version of the map editor should be available to us, the Great Unwashed, sometime around April 2024. The thing is, I'm really not sure how much this matters. Let's start with the obvious big problem for the mapmaking community, beyond that there isn't an editor at all at the moment. The problem is, the game doesn't need an editor. Heck, the way it's been developed, it doesn't even need a map. Terrain editing in the vanilla game is fast and free. Don't like a hill? Flatten it. Need to divert a river? Just move it. Want to replace all the ocean with build plain? Raise it. Frankly, the game makes it too easy to reimagine the map as you go along that it might as well just be completely blank, and you then draw in all the natural features as and when you want them. This isn't how cities work. This wasn't how Cities Skylines 1 worked. Now, it is fair to accept that the original game benefited massively from a huge array of mods, some of which were used to elevate the art of mapmaking to another level. Visually speaking, the most dramatic changes evolved with the art of theme making, and later, theme mixing, allowing us to create unique, natural and dramatic environments. Top creators would use resource painting to accent their maps, raising them to the next level. In Cities Skylines 2, the term theme is used for a different aspect entirely, namely the models of the buildings and the service vehicles. And this is great. I love it. Nice addition. But the old terrain colours and textures have just been abandoned, meaning that all maps will have the same vanilla grass, cliff and sand textures. And resources don't have any identifiable colours at all. So map makers will look at Cities Skylines 2 and wonder why they should even bother. There is certainly room for creativity, but that creativity is too easily overwritten by the city builder. And artistically, it is hard to imagine how the maps in the new game could ever look even half as enticing as those in the original. It may be too early to announce the demise of the map making genre, but it is very difficult to see how things will progress with the release of the editor. But that isn't all though, and this grumble is far more personal. Accepting its flaws, allowing for time for the devs to put things straight, yada yada yada. Is Cities Skylines 2 fun to play? I remember when I first got hold of Cities Skylines 1, I had a blast. I had too much fun that I played 100% vanilla for the longest time. Cities Skylines 2 just doesn't feel fun. Now, I do like it, and I have sunk about 350 hours into it at the time of the recording of this. Ignoring all of its flaws, it is not a bad game. But the flaws do drag it down. And for me, not just as a player, but as a YouTuber. Honestly, making any form of quality content from Cities Skylines 2 is literally soul crushing. My water tutorial, a simple video, no complex concepts, took around 40 working hours to make. That's nearly 2 full days of my life just gone. The exact same video in the original game would have taken about a quarter of that. Now that's still 10 hours for a 13-minute video, but broken up into 2-hour segments, that tutorial is complete in maybe a couple of days. 40 hours needs to be spread over a couple of weeks, and by the end of it, you've lost the will to live. Let me show you a couple of like-for-like differences. First of all, Cities Skylines 2's much lauded cinematic camera, which is on the left. And on your right is a 7-year-old camera mod from the original game. Now if you keep a careful eye on the left hand side of your screen, you might notice a small stutter. This is where the frame rate of the animation drops, so instead of a cozy 30 frames a second matching the frame rate of YouTube, you get a small delay. A really small one. Hardly noticeable. To be fair, this isn't this bad every time. Usually the stutter will be momentary, sometimes it won't happen at all, and sometimes this. But there are other ways of recording footage from your city. For many years, I pushed the camera freehand about the maps, following highways, coasts and rivers. We can do this in Skylines 2, and it is fairly smooth. However, we don't really want all this visual user interface, so let's swap over to the standard camera instead. What you see now is real-time flying, again with the new game on the left and the original on the right. If the flying is janky on the right, I apologise, it's been a while since I used the controls, but I didn't do too bad. Meanwhile, with the new camera, everything is really slow. Just as long as you don't want to change angles or follow a bend, it's just about acceptable. But once you change the alignment, everything stutters, meaning you can't get a smooth, natural transition from one direction to another. I used to have fun making WhatMap reviews in the original game. I have absolutely no fun making the first couple of reviews in the new game. Add into this, we now have efficiency when switching between maps. Here, Cities Skylines 1, 100% vanilla, using the no workshop launch option on my somewhat beefy PC. The time to launch the game from desktop, to start a new game with a map, then instantly close the game down and repeat the process with a second different map, was a total of 3 minutes and 23 seconds. So if you load up a map and instantly dislike it, you're looking at an absolute minimum of 3.5 minutes lost. And I know for a lot of you with weaker computers and a stack of mods, this could in some cases be upwards of half an hour. This combined with the frankly useless Steam search function is why WhatMap was born. There was a niche for a map review show. But now with Cities Skylines 2 you can switch between maps in a matter of moments. So if you don't like a map, you can easily load up a new one, or simply edit the existing one on the fly. What to do? Well, I'm determined to record all the vanilla reviews, but there is no way I am rushing these out daily. I think I can maintain a feed of about 1 or 2 a week, and maybe things will be better by the time of the launch of the map editor. Maybe not. In the meantime, I'm going to have fun playing a game which is fun, gifted to me by one of the BonBonB buddies. I'm playing a game which is genuinely fun, looks and feels complete, is engaging, rewarding, allows for building and, to a degree, map editing. I'm going to start recording footage soon, so if you want to have some fun with me, while Skylines 2 is being salvaged, then subscribe and watch along. Valheim is waiting. There is certainly room for creativity, but that creativity is too easily overwritten by the city builder, and artistically it is hard to imagine how the maps in the new game could ever